Marvel Future Fighters, Trippy Cakes here. Do want to go ahead and say that I did not plan on dropping a video tonight, but due to a certain set of circumstances, I felt it was necessary to make this video. Now you can just look, I just got characters in the background just so you're not listening to my voice over a black screen, because that's kind of creepy. Anyway, so how my whole idea or premise of this video started is I had a former subscriber of mine. He and I got into a disagreement. Now, as I've always said on my channel, I'm open for discussions about shit. I'm cool with it. If you don't have to agree with my stance on it, but what I would like is some proper some proper evidence to back up your cause, you know what I mean? So maybe I can learn from the experience, or I could tell you what you can learn from the experience. Anyway, basically with this guy, I'm just gonna say his name, Mac Moon. Fuck that guy. So he says on my lizard review video, he goes, well, the main problem is that people in this game, like, they're not on par with how they are in the comic books. I'm tired of people thinking that every character should be a beast and blah blah blah. Well, let me tell you why I say fuck that guy. Because one, people spend actual money that they go and work their ass off to get in this game because they like it. So if a motherfucker decides that they want to tier 2 somebody, or pick somebody up and put a whole bunch of actual goddamn money into it, you best believe they better get their fucking money's worth. I don't give a shit if it's Hawkeye, the Thing, it could be a fucking amoeba. I don't care. If you're throwing money into a video game, you shouldn't have to suffer for liking a specific character. So that kind of pissed me off a little bit, because what really pissed me off is how he came at me when I was like, hey man, I think that you're taking it a little too literal, because if the game went hand in hand with comic books, then the problem that we already have now with some characters being overpowered would be a lot worse than it is. Like, it would be so much worse. So I got to talking with an Alliance member of mine, old school gamer, cool ass dude. He and I started talking about rebalancing in this game. Now, the craziest part about this whole rebalancing thing is that they already had shit implemented in this game to prevent the need for a rebalancing, or people getting too strong without a way to actually handle them other than using the same exact character. I'm looking at you, Doctor Strange, and former Sharon Rogers. Now, when I say they had fail safes in place, they had affinity types. Then there was the character, or the person's actual skill when they're playing the characters. Then there were ISO sets, obelisk and stuff like that to tweak to whatever it is you needed, as well as different things that you can put. But meta is killing this game, kind of. It's making it a lot less fun than it could be. How awesome would it be to take let's see, I don't know, Black Panther, because Black Panther is a beast in the comics. He's a beast in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but then when you play him in Marvel Future Fight, it may as well be a piece of shit wearing Black Panther's uniform, because that's how fucking terrible he is for no reason whatsoever. Now, let's say, how awesome would it be to take any character in this game, even if it's fucking Jessica Jones, and you have them tweaked a certain way because of how you built them and shit like that, to where they can stick it to somebody who's, to somebody else. Like, I don't want to say Doctor Strange, and I know some of you guys are probably gonna be like, well, you work your ass off for certain characters, then they should be stronger. Yes, that is true, but to a point. It shouldn't be to the point where you work your ass off for a character, and then you just click on them, and then all of a sudden they're just wrecking everything, and you don't even have to look at your screen. That's not a fucking video game. I don't even think that would be a simulation, or that's just boring. That is super boring. So a few other things that old school gamer and I talked about with rebalancing is shit like poison damage. I was at first like, you know what, they should just remove that, because there's only like 2 characters who even have it, and then you get those shitty poison obelisk and crap like that. But how they could retweak poison would be to make it true damage, where it ignores your like your energy defense or physical defense or whatever, where it ignores that completely because it is a poison and your energy and physical damage have nothing to do with it. Another thing that does need rebalancing would be leaderships. Like, I think it's like Thor or somebody like that that has like plus 50% lightning resistance. It's like, well, what the fuck do you need that for? There are no world bosses that use lightning. Okay, there's a few characters that have, you know, a little bit of lightning damage, but nobody's gonna sit up there and be like, I need 100% lightning damage build. That's what I need. That's nonsense, absolute nonsense. So they need to change those passives around. And as far as, you know, making the game a little bit more balanced to where it's not overwhelming with certain characters, if you really think about it, when you hit a certain point in timeline, you are literally facing the same team over and over and over and over and over, and that's because there's not balance. As I said, there should be tiers, but the gap between each tier is so monumental right now that there are characters that aren't even worth having anymore. To be honest, you build up your roster just to get those characters, and then everybody else that you used in the past is absolutely worthless, because if you're not, you can't fight Jean Grey with fucking Yellow Jacket, or even a speed character like Black Widow. That's just out of the question, and that's because there is such a large gap. So as far as balancing goes, there need to be some people that need to get their power scaled down, and then there are people that need to have their powers scaled up, as well as their moves completely like changed, because you can make it look fancy and all that shit all you want to, but the fact of the matter is there's a lot of useless shit in this game, and they just want to keep cranking out characters and shit like that. So before they do a next huge update like the X-Men one and things like that, they need to start doing micro updates where they start updating characters and making them useful again. Because like I said, people are spending real money on this shit. Me, I have no plans on tier 2ing anybody else for the sake of, you know, seeing who's actually really good or some shit like that. I'll do it as a review just in case you guys want to know or whatever. But me personally, I feel that in this game, if you base a core roster around your alliance battle days, like Carnage for combat villain, Jean Grey for your anything day, and then Doctor Strange for Male Blast, Odin for Universal Hero, you know, like that, then if you just have those core characters right there, then you're pretty much good for the rest of the game, because you're going to use them in everything else, and that is just because shit is so unbalanced. But like I said, if you ever have a disagreement with me about some shit, as I said, I'm perfectly fine with you disagreeing with whatever it is that I have to say, but come at me with with some fucking respect. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm not trying to sound like Birdman. It's just, you gotta be mindful how you talk to people. Just because somebody does not agree with you doesn't mean act like a little bitch about it. But in lighter news, I do have some more content coming up. It's been great chopping it up some more. Please do like, comment, subscribe. And this has been Trippy Cakes for a video, and I'm out.